Right, guys, I hope everyone's okay. I've got a very special guest over here. This is going to be my last podcast series. We are going to be touching on two subjects. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves.
Hi, my name's Tahani, but everyone calls me T, so just call me T. T's fine.
How was your day so far? How's it been?
Oh, today's been a bit hectic.
Yeah.
I was up from about 5:30 in the morning because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, what am I going to do? So I just had to just calm myself down and just get here, really. My heart was racing. I was like, I don't think I can do this. Maybe I should turn back. But then I thought, you know what, T, you set out to do this, just do it. So, and I'm glad it's here with you because I'm comfortable.
Thank you for actually coming. And actually, thank you for actually organising this amazing day so we can network and speak out as well. Right, so the first one is going to be about motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, first of all, I want to say is, where are you from originally?
So it's quite confusing.
Okay.
I'm one of those people, but
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be cute, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I say East African Arab,
Okay.
but so my dad's from Kenya, Yemen, but then his mom's half Indian, and then my mom's Somali and Yemeni, so we're just mixed.
Interesting mix.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. When you was a child, describe you as a child, your personality, your upbringing. How was you?
I mean, I came from a really big family, so there's 8 of us, so you can only imagine how crazy that would have been. But I mean, I think I had a pretty up and down childhood.
Yeah.
I think it was quite normal because my mom migrated here, and so it was just one of those things. I feel like I started primary school here. I started in year 1, so it was difficult because I couldn't speak English. So it was. I mean, I feel like once you get into it and you get older, you don't really remember your childhood memories too much. You just remember the moments. So I couldn't tell you specific events of how I was, but certain memories will always be. So yeah, just playing outside, and you know how it is growing up in East London, just playing at the park, playing with your friends, knock down gingers, all
just
of that
enjoying
stuff.
Not down ginger.
Yeah. And the thing is, because we had so many siblings, and I was quite a tomboy, so
Yeah.
all my brothers that would be sparring at home and would play relay, play this, play that, So it was quite active. You're never lonely when you're a child with a bunch of kids at home.
Right.
So.
Another question is, being a mother,
Mm-hmm.
what is it like?
Oh, do you know what? It's such an amazing experience. Like, I feel like nothing can compare to that feeling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can go through beautiful memories and like heightened memories, but I feel like being a mum, nothing can beat that.
Yeah.
It's just I think it kind of reveals and teaches you to be who you need to be for your child. So you kind of almost prioritize your child, but then in the same breath you need to make sure that you're okay and you're uplifted, because if you're not okay, your child's not okay. So it's just finding that balance, really. But yeah, it's beautiful. Being a parent is it's a feeling. So you can't describe it. It's not describable.
Hopefully I can get that chance. Well, I can't.
I
can't produce the kid, but
Yeah.
hopefully I'll have that chance to actually be a parent. And
Yeah.
do you think mothers in general, like single mothers or just ladies, like females in general, they don't get the recognition that they deserve in terms of raising children?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, whether you're a single parent or 2-parent household situation, I feel like it's always going to be hard for the mother.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a thing. It's a feeling that you can't really describe, because you go through all these things with your child and for your child that I feel like, because your child came from you, it's a connection that you wouldn't necessarily, I don't believe, feel with your dad as much. But the bond between a mother and a child, I feel like it's a really strong bond, and it's not easy to always be the parent, because we always try to be the best that we can be, and we don't want to repeat the same mistakes as our parents made. I mean, and they probably felt the same about their parents, but you just try your best and you just give your everything to that child. So it's just, or your children. But yeah, there's too much to it, I'd say.
Do you think guys need to respect females in general that that have kids. For example, there's this stigma that goes around, oh, she's got a child, you know, she's got a child for this reason, don't date her, blah, blah, blah. Do you think we need to take out that negativity that we portray females in a negative way?
100%. I mean, I know it's not easy for every male to actually take on a woman with another child because of their own, maybe their ego, like the two E's that you mentioned.
Yeah.
It could be those two things. And it has to come from a man. So I feel like with the right man, he can take on a child and a woman, no matter whether it's 1, 2 or 5. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
And I think it has to get to a point where the man needs to value himself before, and value, you know, people around him and other females before he values the woman that he wants to pursue something with, especially if she's also got a child, and especially if the child is a female. I mean, from my experience, I mean, now I'm with my partner, and you know, my daughter's from another partner, so I mean, he's been amazing. So he understands it.
Big up to him. Big up to him.
No, really, he's been amazing, and it's not something that I've ever been comfortable with, because I'm like, I can't have another man raise my child, and no, you know, I can't be like that, and you know, because you just feel like that's not how it's supposed to be. But I think as you grow and as you experience and learn, the more empathetic you are towards people, and the more love that you can show. I mean, a child is just a child. Do you know what I mean? You can't hate or envy a child.
No, you can't.
That makes no sense. Like. But then there are a lot of people who do that. So sometimes some people compete with their own children. Do you see what I mean? Let alone somebody else's child. So it's like you have to be at a level of manhood.
Yes.
Like you have to be a man to be able to accept and love and understand a woman who, I mean, her as a person herself, but then along with her child, that's a big ask. Because some people will accept it, but they won't invest their energy, their time, you know, the understanding. I mean, I think nowadays people are a lot more about substance. I mean, not substance, but less substance. So it's like everything's almost an image now. So if it looks cute, it's fine. But no one really wants to dig deeper. But I mean, I know a lot of people are starting to, but we need to see more of it. So you need to dig deeper to the actual roots, because we're all loving beings. We should be loving one another. Why is it so? It takes more energy to hate than love. So it's like, why are we doing that? So I feel like for a man and a woman to love each other unconditionally, because my experience of fully, you know, you say you love someone, but love is your own definition. But for me, I feel like if you can love somebody unconditionally, then that is true love. How God loves us is unconditional, whether we're bad or good, or you know. So for me, I'm like, I've learned how to love my daughter unconditionally. Like, I love her so much that I'm just like, no one's coming anywhere near this. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to protect them. But I feel like once you understand that, and you're able to now give that beyond your child, which is what, I mean, we struggle with that. I mean, I'm struggling with that now. I mean, I love my partner so much, but it's just, is it a different type of love? But as a universal thing, I want it to eventually, once we grow together, to be loving each other unconditionally. And I think once that foundation is set, you're undefeatable. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
So it's just, it's not a surface thing. It's more of a substance thing. So, yeah.
You're very clued on. I like your aura. You're very clued on.
Thank you so much.
You're very clued on. I think, guys, we need to actually take the recognition and understand, you know, mothers in general. Understand the process that you go through labour, through mental trauma, you know, through actually raising children, single or not single, but actually taking time and appreciate what you guys go through. And I think there are some guys that do it, and there's a lot of guys that don't. And I think a lot of people go through mental trauma, or they go through bad stages in life. Have you had any experiences going through bad stages in life, in terms of like, or have you had your friends gone through any bad stages in life, becoming a parent?
I mean, do you know what it is? It's such a broad topic, but I think to begin with, the main thing is that trauma starts from somewhere, right?
That's right.
So, I mean, we didn't wake up feeling traumatized. We didn't wake up feeling hurt. We've been hurt or traumatized or affected by a situation which is caused by a person.
That's right.
And a lot of the times, for a male, it's a female, and for a female, it's a male.
No, yeah. Vice versa. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just, and that's why I'm not quick to call a male a man, because
Yeah.
you can't get that title willy-nilly. Like, you need to be able to, you have to earn that title. You're not,
I
do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's just, yeah, it's just one of those things.
No, I agree. I agree. Right, as a mother, going through labour, that pain and carrying a child in your body, describe that feeling.
Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I had a wicked, after the first 6 weeks,
Yeah.
the first 6 weeks, I was literally dying. Like, I didn't eat for 6 whole weeks.
For 6 weeks.
6 whole weeks. Okay, let me not lie. I would have maybe a grape. And then I was obsessed with Vimto at the time and water. So water
6
and
weeks?
6 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
Like, I went so pale. I literally was just, morning sickness got me.
Yeah.
If I smelt food, I'm throwing up.
Wow.
I couldn't stand anything around me. I just felt so, ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. But after the 6 weeks, I remember I didn't even comb my hair for 6 weeks, or maybe even longer, to the point where after I was, well enough to get up, the first thing I done was jump on a cab to Upton Park to get my eyebrows done, right?
Yeah.
And then my hair was so knotty and disgusting because my hair was really long.
Yeah.
I just said, you know what, chop it off. The eyebrow lady was like, what? I was like, chop it off.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. She was like, listen, I'm not a hairdresser, but just come back tomorrow because the hairdresser's going to be here. We'll do it for you. Like,
Yeah.
just don't cut your hair.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, just cut it off.
Why?
All of it. I was just done with it. And I just felt like maybe it was for me because I've always had long hair.
Okay.
So I feel like maybe I needed to strip everything. And I'm glad I actually done that because it made me embrace my pregnancy a lot more. So as soon as I got up, done my eyebrows, felt cute, and she cut my hair, and I was thinking, oh, this looks a bit weird, but it's fine. I mean, I'm thinking, whoa, I felt weird, but I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And and then the first thing I wanted to do was, as soon as I left there, I went to Nando's and ordered all the sides but chicken. I swear to God, I went
All
to
the
Nando's.
sides,
I ordered the mash, the coleslaw, the garlic bread,
Yeah.
everything, sweet. And I literally took a nibble of each, and I was like, yep, I'm satisfied. And I just walked out.
Wow.
I mean, I did take it as a takeaway. You can't be
Yeah.
wasting food. In
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I was just like, it was. So for me, after that, those 6 weeks were over, listen, I enjoyed my pregnancy. I didn't even though life was upside down for me, though my pregnancy was crazy, but
Yeah.
the actual feeling of having a baby inside kept me, like, that was I feel like my daughter saved me in that sense, because I felt like I had nothing more to live for.
Big up your daughter.
So yeah, I'll big up my daughter, Maya. Yeah, no, Maya's amazing. She really saved me. And I feel like I enjoyed it so much. And, even I was still working, doing what I was doing, but it's just, I think I was a lot stronger during my pregnancy.
So you said you're still working.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
people need to understand we don't go through the same things. So you're going to work, you have another human inside you.
Yeah.
You're going to eat food, 6 weeks not eating a certain amount of food. So you see the stuff that you're going through as a lady, as a female. We need to take this in as guys.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys don't really understand the full fundamental of what, females go through in general, ladies go through in general.
Mm-hmm.
That shows that you're strong as a person.
I mean, I'd like to believe so.
No, it shows that you're strong because...
I'd like to believe so, but I mean, we're always going to get stronger through our struggles, innit? So I feel like with my pregnancy, it all depends on your mind state, I guess, because, I mean, because I could have let everything kind of bring me down, but I thought to myself, you know what, whatever this child is, I didn't know whether it was a boy or a girl, but I was like, whatever it is, it doesn't deserve for me not to at least love myself. I used to go to restaurants on my own, literally after work. I'll sit there, order whatever I want, go swimming every Thursday. After I was well, literally from my second trimester, I was literally embracing every moment, and I did not regret it. I mean, it wasn't easy. Sometimes towards the end of my pregnancy, I would walk to work with slippers on because my ankles, I had cankles. I had the maddest cankles, and I was just like, you know what, whatever. And I was managing a practice at the time, so I was just like, no, I can't I mean, strange things were happening that I didn't know, like that
Yeah.
long dark thing that grows on the line that grows on your belly button. I was
Yeah.
thinking, I mean, and then sorry, but your nipples get really dark.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do my nipples look like this? What's going on? And it's like your body's changing, but you're kind of embracing it as you're going along.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a wicked time. Genuinely, I could say that I really had a good pregnancy. Yeah.
Single mothers out there, or late, like mothers in general,
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give them, or anyone that's going to become a mum right now? What would you say to them?
Be kind to yourself.
Why?
Be kind to yourself is a big thing because, you know, as a mother, you feel so guilty. Like everything you do, you can't, like it got to a point where I felt guilty being at work whilst Maya was at nursery, and I would call the nursery like 50 times. Is she okay? What colour is her poo?
Because
like I'm asked, how long does she sleep? Does she make noise? Does she cry? And they're just yes. And then as soon as they pick up, yes, mum, Maya's fine. And I'm just thinking, listen, don't get frustrated at me because it can drive you insane because you love this thing so
it's
much.
Love and affection that you have.
And the thing is, you love it when it's growing inside you, but when you see the child, that feeling is just like, whoa, like you're actually here.
Describe that feeling.
I can't. Do you know, that is, I mean, when I gave birth to Maya, because the thing is, I took no medication, none of that, because I was very much prepared for it within my spiritual. Nothing. No,
So
I was
you
induced
went
actually.
through-
Yeah, I was induced. So they broke my waters, which was even worse.
Okay.
But I ran away as well to the CAF because they said I couldn't eat. So I ran to the CAF. I gave birth at Royal London Hospital.
Okay.
And then my midwife, Stephanie, was like, yeah, make sure you don't leave.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was just like, okay. And then I said to my friend, listen, I said, as soon as she's gone, I said, we're going. And this is just after they broke my water. So I'm like, all right, am I in labour now? So is this it? So I'm just sat there thinking, what do we do now? I'm bored. I have to just wait. No, I need to eat. So I quickly went to the CAF, got a Greek salad because I'm like, can't get something too heavy, just in case. Just in case.
Yeah.
You don't want to poo yourself.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, because I was watching One Born Every Minute when I was with my sisters.
You know
what I mean?
I'm
I was
not gonna lie
watching
to you, yeah. I used to watch that on Channel 4.
Channel 4, yeah.
I'm like, wow. Is that what they go for?
Yeah, I had to watch episodes back to back before my
Yeah.
sister gave birth because my niece is now about 9.
Congratulations.
And I'm just like, I had to prepare myself because I was her birthing partner.
Yeah.
So from that, I was just like, all right, cool. I need to be mentally strong for this. Nothing can defeat me. It's just my body. It's temporary pain.
Yeah.
It's fine. So all my midwives were so cool. I had about 8 in the same room at one point because they were so astonished at how high the contractions were going. But I was just busting so much banter.
Yeah.
Big up Stella from Royal London Hospital. If she's
up
still
Stella.
there.
Yeah.
Because and Stephanie.
And Stephanie.
So yeah, so then when I went to, not Ola though, Ola was...
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about the negatives, positives.
Yeah.
And then Stephanie found me. She was looking for me everywhere. And she was like, you can't be having a baby on Whitechapel Road. She goes, I'm going to handcuff you to the bed.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, okay, cool. I said, I just went to get a salad. And before I even got there, I stood up and water was just gushing down me. And I was in the caf thinking, right then. I was like, sorry, can you just get a wheelchair from me? I think I've had an accident. It was just, it was overwhelming. But anyway, so my friend wheeled me back inside. And it just started from there. It was tough because it was going on for a few hours. But from the moment I started pushing, because I'm the type of person, I suffer in silence. Oh. So I could be in so much pain, but unless I'm dying, like I'm calm. I try to stay calm because I don't want the pain to take over. I'd rather feel it through and just be like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, it's fine. So when it was ready for, because the thing is, when Maya was ready to come out, I was in the labour room, not the delivery suite. Oh. So Ola was not ready for my child to come out. So she's telling me to hold my child inside.
Oh.
And I'm telling her, I said, what do you mean? I just ignored her completely because I'm like, how are you telling me to hold a whole... Because I didn't know that it was... Because remember, I didn't let you know, but I gave birth 4.5 weeks early. So I didn't... Because one day, literally the day before, that was my last day at work, and then I went off on maternity. Yeah. So I gave birth earlier than expected. So I had my last antenatal appointment. So they were going to let me know, do you want to walk the birth, the preparations and stuff. So I didn't even get to see that. So I'm just thinking, okay, cool. So she took me to, so we're in the labour room right now, and she's telling me, hold it in. we're not ready. She was a Nigerian woman. She said, we're not ready for you. Hold it. I'm like, I'm not holding it.
You
like,
can actually feel it. That it's time
and
to
the thing
come
is,
out.
I thought I needed to poo.
Yeah.
So obviously, I don't want anyone to see me looking like I need to poo. So
Yeah.
I turned to the side. So imagine, the midwives are there.
Yeah.
One of my friends was there at the time, and I was just like, I'm thinking, no. I was like, so, and then after 45 minutes of feeling like I
Yeah.
needed to go toilet,
Yeah.
all that time I didn't know that was the baby coming. So I said to the midwife, I said, I need to go to the toilet. She goes, no, you can't go to the toilet right now. You need to lock, if you really need to go to the toilet, take this with you and leave the door open. I said, I'm not going to have a poo with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but apparently,
come on.
babies might just fall out in the toilet. But I don't want to kill my child. So you're trying hard. And I'm thinking, actually, do you know what? It's not worth it. So I'm thinking, and at the time they were monitoring me. So I had 2 monitors, one to monitor me and one
Yeah.
to monitor her.
Yeah.
So I just thought, no. So by the time she lifted, so she was like, no, you don't need to poo. It's the baby that's coming.
That's when she realised, huh? Yeah.
So she lifted one leg up. By the time she panicked.
Yeah.
So I ignored her completely. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, all right, cool, T, breathe it through. So I went, and I remember messaging Tanya, one of my friends that used to work at Islington. Tanya's amazing. But
Big up Tanya.
yeah, big up Tanya for sure. So I'm messaging her and she sent me a picture of like, it was like a rainbow. It was like a meme that had a quote on there, and it was just about breathing, and it had like a flower that was kind of opening up, and I was just thinking, okay, I thought that was the last thing I saw because I was still active on my phone, just to let everyone know that I was fine.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I like tapped into that, I just started breathing in and out. And on the third push, before Ola even grabbed my left leg,
Yeah.
Maya was out. Her head was out, and I was just like. And I was trying to push really slow so I don't tear. 'Cause you know, you hear, and luckily she was small. And the first thing I said, I was like, oh my God, do I have stretch marks? After I embraced the moment, I was like, oh my, because you think about all these things, right?
Yeah.
Now I don't really give a crap, to be honest.
Yeah.
But so as soon as she came out, and it just felt so quick. It's like a little alien coming out of you, and then they put you on top. And then you're just thinking, whoa.
How was that feeling?
That's when I cried. That was when I made noise. I was just breathing through the whole 17 hours. I was just, and talking shit the whole time. That's what I do when do you know what I mean? So I'm just like, so when she literally, when she was on top of me and I felt her then, the umbilical cord was all there and she was all green and she just looked weird and it was just weird.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just thinking, whoa, you're here now. But it was just, everything was just a blur after that. Like, I was just like, wow. And then all of a sudden, my chest felt heavy because my milk didn't even produce by then because she was early.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to teach me how to breastfeed and the skin-to-skin stuff. And everything was just so overwhelming. But, yeah, it was wicked. It was wicked. Beautiful. Such a beautiful experience.
Feeling.
Yeah. It was scary.
Yeah.
But it was worth the pain. And I'm sure every mum can relate. Every mother says that.
Big
That's
up
why
all the
they
mothers
have
out there. Big up
all
all the
mothers,
out there.
every mother, 100%. Any mother that's given birth, no matter the situation, you have to rate them. No one understands it unless you're actually in that position. Whether it's an easy one or not, it's still not. It's not easy.
Yeah.
At all.
I think, yeah, man, guys, we need to appreciate, it's easy to make a child. It's so easy to make a child.
Yeah.
But you need to take time and effort to be there and raise, because they will learn.
Yeah.
When they grow up, they will learn. I'm not downgrading any guy that's watching this, but they will learn, and I think we need to be there for our sisters out there in general.
100%.
Because the traumas that children go through when they're young and they start asking certain questions, why this, why that, the mother can't answer all those questions. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, we play a part. So we need to play a part. And yeah, man, that's a strong story.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important for when you decide, obviously it's in God's hands, right? When you have a child, but I feel like it's really important, whatever you can control, to try control it to the best of your ability, because having a child is not about dressing them up and matching tracksuits and posting on Instagram. Do you know what I mean?
I hate people when they do that.
Do you know what I mean?
It's why would you do that? Matching clothes and matching.
No, the thing is, you can do all those cute things. That's fine, but it's like it's all about the surface, and there's no real sub. You have to get to the core of it. You need to understand your child. You need to grow with your child, because a lot of people don't understand. I mean, you learn more from your child than your child learns from you, because remember, a child is a pure soul. So it's like they teach you a lot more of the things that either, you know, your upbringing or society is shut down within yourself, because we were all pure souls once upon a time. It's just life that they say damaged, but it's just, you know, everyone's healing right now. But I feel like people that can acknowledge that and understand that just try to do better when it comes to just not having children just for the sake of it. Just understand why you're having a child.
Yeah.
If you do want to have a child. Because
I want to have children.
Yeah, no, children, I mean, that's the thing. That's why for me, everyone's like, yeah, you might as well have one after the other, get them out of the way, you know, raise them together. But then for me, I'm like, as much as it's beautiful, because we're almost a year apart, me and all my siblings, and there's 8 of us. And I love a crazy household. I live for that. And eventually that's what I want. But at the same time, you've got to compromise, because I'm like, I need to give you all that time. I need to give you that time. I need to give you that attention. I need to understand you. I don't want to just raise you all as a collective. You need to be raised individually. But a lot of parents, I feel like, from the older generation, because they've struggled, for them it's just, as long as we put you in education, we feed you, clothe you, that's enough. Take you to mosque or church or whatever it is, and that's it. But now it's, children are, I mean, I think we as parents now are more aware of the feelings and the energies that we want to protect our kids in every angle, spiritually, mentally, physically, because we have that knowledge, and our parents allowed us to grab those opportunities because we have them now, don't we? So it's like we need to do better for our children, and not just have them for the image. That's a big thing for me. I'm like, just don't do that. It's not nice, because trauma starts at home. And I feel like, and it starts off from the parents. And God didn't say for a man and woman not to have a child together. There's a reason why God said man and woman, because men have their strengths and women have their strengths. Men have their weaknesses, women have their weaknesses, but you're there to balance each other out. But a lot of people, they kind of push that onto the mother the most, because it's like, okay, it's your child, you gave birth to them. And that's why you see a lot more single parents. I mean, don't get me wrong, I respect single fathers, because there are single fathers out there.
Oh, no, big up the single fathers.
Yeah, single fathers that try, or even people that co-parent. It's a beautiful thing, because some things might not work out, and that's fine. But a lot of people forced to be in situations just for the sake of the kids, but you don't understand that it's affecting the kids so much more, and it will in the long run. And that's where traumas will start from. So it all starts from home. So if you know that it's a toxic situation and you need to separate, and just be there for the child and do your part, and that's it. And don't do it and send snaps and put whatever it is on the social media just to show that you're a present father, just every Sunday,
guys,
or every month, or birthdays, like, I got a Gucci bag for you, or it's like, all right, chill out. No, she needs your time, he needs your time. Talk to them, take them out, laugh with them, give them less, just whatever it is, just be there. It doesn't matter what you bring to the table. Like, there's a moment where I was just like, I don't care what you bring, because I mean, with my daughter's dad, I'm just like, I don't really care what it is. I want to do whatever I can to make sure that I've given you every opportunity as a father, and have that relationship with your daughter. What you do with that is up to you. But I mean, a lot of people weaponize their kids, but I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't understand why people do that.
It just causes confusion for the child, because it's like they don't know who to be and how to act, because they're so worried about what's mom going to think, what's dad going to think. But that's not fair on the child. So it's a lot, and things need to change. Yeah, things need to change, I feel like.
When I was young, I'll be honest with you, I was very naive and stupid. I looked at girls that were pushing buggies in a different type of way. Not until my mum told me a story, what she went through as a lady. So my mum, obviously she had me, and then she had my other siblings with a previous partner before. And she suffered abuse. Not a lot of people know this, but I don't care, I'll put it on camera, but she suffered abuse, with my father. So she went through certain issues. And she fought against him physically and whatever. So I think guys abusing like ladies in general is wrong, but especially when you have children, and then when you use your children against them, it can play mind games, And I think it's sad, that there's a lot of physical relationships at the moment, and a lot of guys or girls as well, they could use their children against them, and I think it's sad and it's wrong. And I think when you have a child, you need to understand that you're bringing another part of you, and you need to embrace that. But all the ladies right now that are suffering abuse, it's sad, and I think it needs to end. And people need to understand that you having a child, sometimes people have children because it can change their life. It can change them to be a better person. Or sometimes people they need comfort, they need love. And yeah.
But then it's just like, how are you going to give love to another pure soul when you can't give love to yourself? And that's where I feel like, I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not talking like I've
No
had to
one's
learn, and
perfect.
we're still learning.
Yeah.
But it's just, you can't love another being without loving yourself. And I feel like that's where a lot of people go wrong. And in terms of like abusive relationships and things like that, I feel like when it comes to those types of things, disrespect is disrespect. So for me, there's certain things that I wouldn't tolerate.
Yeah.
So like, you can't tell me to shut up and think that it's normal, because I'm not having that. So, and don't think you can manipulate me, because you can't. But a lot of the times, women are manipulated, and they have been, because there's some sick people out there.
No, there are some.
And there are some sick women out there. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah,
it's
vice
true.
versa. It works both ways.
Both ways. But majority of the times, it is the man who is manipulating the woman, or it is the man that's devaluing the women. And I remember, like, back in the day growing up, all the, pretty girls, because beauty is by your own definition, but when they would get with a guy that was less attractive, it's like he would then, I've seen it, it's like he would make her feel like shit, so she doesn't know her self-worth, so she doesn't believe that she's beautiful. And it's like, it kind of, some of those things stem from there, and it's just like, when you feel devalued, that's where the issues arise. But then you need to dig deeper and say, okay, why do I feel devalued? Why do I care if you think that I'm not pretty, or if I'm a shit person, or I'm this and I'm that? I don't give a shit what you think of me. I have to care about what I think about myself. And I think now the way I cope with things is I don't like to blame any external factors. I don't like to make excuses. I like to look to myself, because when you feel like there's something wrong, it's something within you, and you need to get to the root of that. It might not always come about straight away, but once you actually sit and you try, at least have the intention and say it to yourself, I want to understand myself. I want to know what it is. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's like, I mean, for me, I did experience something which was quite shocking to me, because I was like, how? So I remember about 3 years ago, I was sat on my balcony and just chilling there, just taking a breather, having a fag. I don't smoke anymore, but I was having a fag. And I was just thinking, do you know what? I was just sat there, and my head just went off. And it brought me back to a time where I experienced sexual abuse at the age of, I think I was about 4.
Fuck,
but I mean, the thing is, I didn't. But then I'm like, I'm 27. How? But then I remembered it so clearly, and I'm just thinking, whoa. Like, and then I was like, oh shit. Now things are starting to make a bit more sense, even though there are other factors that affects who I am as a person. But I'm like, whoa, it started quite young, and I'm like, and obviously now I've got a 5-year-old, and you just become, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's why I'm so protective. One of the reasons as to why I'm so protective over her. Yeah, we're not doing sleepovers. We're not doing, we're not doing any of that. You're not getting too close to my child. No, you're not going to force my child to hug you or kiss you, because a lot of our aunties and uncles and parents are like, oh yeah, that's your auntie. Oh, go kiss her. No, there's a reason why a child says no, because they can sense energy. And if Maya doesn't like someone, she's literally my security guard. I know if you're a bad mind and you're not a good person, or I feel negative vibes from you, and Maya doesn't take to you, I'm like, there's something not right here. I'd rather just distance myself. So it's a lot. It's a lot, but
I've learned a lot just by talking to you, and I think it's inspiring.
Oh,
the journey that you've taken, and I think it's inspiring because you're inspiring other ladies to come out and speak. And I think motherhood is a very underrated subject, because you could be walking in the street and you don't know what she's going through. You could see someone pushing a buggy. You could be in a queue, in a shop, in a train, and you don't really appreciate and understand what's really happening here. Because a lot of guys, like when we see girls in the streets, oh, she's good looking, but she's got a kid. Oh, I should ask her, but I don't know if I should ask her for a number or not. But then understand the root, go deeper.
And you know what?
Yeah.
First of all, why are you approaching a woman whilst
Yeah.
she's with her child?
Yeah.
That's not appropriate, is it?
Yeah. No, it's not.
Because it's like males feel the need to approach women, but how about if I don't want you to approach me? Why are you approaching me for? Especially whilst I've got my child. To me, that's disrespect. Don't think you can talk to me whilst I'm pushing a buggy or if I'm with my child. That's to me, that's just a no-go personally. It's not something that I would do. Yeah.
No, I agree. Any advice that you give out to guys watching this? What would you say?
I mean, guys as fathers or guys as...
Guys
in
as
general?
fathers and people that are gonna have children.
I mean, I feel like try to take a bit more control of situations is number one. And number two, I feel like... Do you know what? I'm going to go back a bit because I feel like, especially males within the culture, they're already kind of portrayed a certain way. So sometimes and there's a lot of damaged and broken men. I don't like saying damaged, actually. A lot of men that need healing. And
No, there are. A lot
and the
of
thing is, it's like sometimes they have to live up to that because it's just a normal thing. It's just, oh, she's my baby mum, or, you know, I've got another baby mum, or it's like they don't really know what it is. Maybe it's because that's what they've also experienced with, you know, their parents. So it's just certain cycles that just need to break. That's all it is. So my advice to fathers is be more present. And my advice to fathers is also that I think you need to continue to, or try to actually, before you continue, to respect the woman you've had a child with.
I agree.
And you need to understand that if the woman you've had a child with is happy, your child is happy.
I agree.
Simple.
Yeah.
It's just, and you're going to be happy.
It's the energy.
Exactly. So it's like once that foundation is set, why can't I go to my ex's wedding? Why can't we do that? That's fine. I mean, our journey's ended. That's okay. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people hold on to the emotional aspects of it and the toxic side to it, because a lot of people just don't want to let go of each other. So I'm just like, let go of her if you can't respect her. I feel like just let go, leave her alone, but just be a parent, because away from her, you're a parent. Remember, that's your title before anything. So you can call yourself whatever you want. You can be, I don't know, an artist. You can be a doctor or whatever it is. A shitty title no one gives a shit about. But if you cannot be a father or a mother to your child, then I can't respect you. Sorry. Because then what? I mean, some people have it out of, there's certain situations where people have kids and it's not in their control.
No,
but I feel like if it is in your control and you choose to keep your child,
then it's a different story.
Exactly. Work together, and then things will be happier, and people will be happier. It's just common sense, isn't it?
You seem very spiritual. I can tell, just like talking to you, you're very spiritual.
And you're proper calm as well. You're just like, yeah.
No,
like, yeah, dude. Like, yeah. That's, you're proper chilled out.
You seem very spiritual. I like that, man.
Thank you.
It's nice, man. Do you have any questions you want to ask me?
I mean, for you, how do you feel like? Because you said you've got siblings from, so you've got half siblings.
Yeah. So I got 3 half siblings actually. It's weird. So my mum. So basically, I've got one sister, same mum, different dad. 2 sisters, same dad, different mum.
So
and then I got a twin sister as well. A lot of people don't know that. And I got a little brother.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how do you feel when you have your siblings around, or I don't know if their dad comes by or what? Do you feel some type of way about any of it?
No, like when I was young, I didn't really understand because African culture is it's weird. It's tough. We don't really talk too much when it comes to this is your half sister. This is just.
It's just one family.
It's just one family living in the same household. But then as you grow up, you start to understand life and you pick up things. Because when you grow, you start to pick up and then you learn from your mistakes and you start to learn from your parents' mistakes as well. But my twin sister had 2 boys.
Yeah. Oh,
she
congratulations.
Thank you. She had 1 boy last year and another one the year before. It's a bit bad. I apologise, Amira, if you're watching this.
That's bad.
Sorry. But she had 2 beautiful boys, and the baby father, well, don't know what category to put him in. Let's just say the father of the child has not been a good father. So watching her raise 2 innocent little boys, and then that's same time as educating me as well. to be prepared to be a father.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see that, I'm like, wow, man, like, that's very deep.
Mm-hmm.
And sad because you're going through certain issues
Mm-hmm.
that you should not be going through. But at the same time, it's a bit of a learning curve.
I mean, I think it's harder for a woman to raise boys more than girls. And that's one reason I was like, God, you are great, because I don't know how I would have handled raising a boy. I don't know how I would have done it, to be honest. So I feel like, yeah, I'm grateful that I've got a daughter, and I would love to have a son, but I feel like as much as both genders need their parents, I feel like for a boy, he needs the father figure, because the effects of it in their teenage and adult lives is a lot. It affects them quite a lot. So I just feel like finding that balance is really important. And any mother that's raising boys, ratings to them, because it's not easy. It's really not.
Big up the mothers out there.
Yeah.
Big up the fathers as well.
100%, yeah. And one thing that I wanted to say is that, you know how like people call girls, I mean women that have had children or whatever, baby mums. Do you know how much that pisses me off?
Yeah.
Like it just feels so like such a shit label to give a woman that's carried a child. Like, oh, she's my baby mum. Like, what do you mean she's my baby mum? She is the mother of your child. You're getting drink some water.
You made me cough because no, it's true.
No, but it's like, what do you mean baby mum? That's the mother. So like, even when my daughter's dad, the first time he said, oh, my baby, I'm going to my baby mum's, I was like, are you sick?
Yeah.
What do you mean you're going? Don't ever say that to me ever.
Yeah.
Like, you have to.
You can't. Yeah,
I feel like you can't let people like cross certain boundaries, because it's like, how can you can't call me that? I'm a whole mother to a whole child, and I always say that because I'm like, I'm not a baby mum.
Yeah.
No mum is a baby mum. Yeah. Everybody is a mother to a child.
That's right.
But a lot of people, I feel like for me, when I used to be petty, I would call people baby dads, because I'm like, that's baby dad behavior.
Yeah.
You're not being a dad.
Yeah.
That's like once in a blue moon dad. You know, every weekend let down birthday dad. Do you know what I mean? We ain't got time for that. We need stability. You know, our kids need stability. And if you can't do it, let another man do it happily, because there are plenty of men that would want to do that.
Where did this word come from, baby mum?
Baby mum.
I don't know where this word came from, actually.
But you know what? I don't know if it's true, but I feel like it's kind of stemmed from the Caribbean culture, baby mum.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it.
I mean, because I've had conversations with my partner, and it's just like, that's just is. But for people of the Caribbean, I think it's just a normal thing that in their lingo. But I feel like you can't just do that. And
You
I feel
can't just
like
put people in one category.
Yeah, I feel like categories is just
It doesn't make sense. Like you said, you're not a baby mum. You're the mother of the child. You're not a babe father, because you're the father
of a child. So be that father, be that mother. Hold that title with your head.
Yeah.
Like that's such a proud moment. I don't care what I am. I've been a cleaner. I've been a manager. I've been this. I've been. Do you think I give a crap about all of that? For me, I'm like, anytime I introduce myself, I'm just like, yeah, it's me and da-da-da-da. But then the first thing I would say after that is, I'm a whole mother to a whole child. Like,
be proud.
I'm very proud. I'm really proud. And I'm like, and I feel like I used to feel guilty to be proud, because I'm like, you know, sometimes you feel a bit like, maybe it's a bit much, or sometimes you might even think, am I going to do a good job? Am I going to mess up? But it's like, as long as you believe in yourself and you have faith and you have good intentions and you stay true to yourself, yeah, you'll go through it. And you have that child or children there, you're fine. Whether there's dads or no dads, because it's their loss, I guess. Yeah. It's their loss, so it's one of those things, isn't it?
You know what, this girl, yeah, you need to start a podcast, man. I said that because the energy and the aura that I'm receiving from you is amazing. I can see big things happening for you.
Oh, thank you.
Deep down.
Yeah.
Deep down. And I'm actually happy that you actually came here and that we actually discussed on Instagram, because I think this subject is touching, and I don't know anyone that speaks about this publicly right now, and to put this on social media. I think it's going to inspire both genders to unify, and both genders to come out and actually to understand one another more deeper. And I think that's good.
I mean, do you know what? It's not that easy to understand one another.
No, it's hard.
I mean, it's easy to say, yeah, I can understand you on to a certain degree, but it's just understanding to the point where you have to understand each other through your worst times.
Yeah.
Like, literally. But I feel like I've only started learning that this year.
Yeah.
Because I've finally given myself fully to somebody. And I'm 30 years old, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not a joke.
Age is nothing but a number.
No, but to me, I'm just like, to me, in my head, I'm like, whoa, T, you've missed out because of the fear of being let down, or the fear of someone hurting you, or the fear. Because you know when you've been hurt by a male other than a partner. So for example, you know, your people related to you.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just one of those things. So I feel like that was my defense. But I think as I worked on myself over the years, I'm like, you know what? I'm ready now. But then, was I really ready? Because now that I'm in it, I love it so much and I'm so happy. And, you know, I've never thought, it almost feels like a dream. But when it's tough times, it is tough. And you almost, I'm a runner. I'm not a runner, but I'm just like, I ain't got time for this, bye. And he's exactly like that.
Yeah.
So, and we're both Leos.
Yeah.
So he's the male version of me, and so we're basically fighting and battling ourselves.
Yeah.
Because most of the time we get annoyed at ourselves. It's actually our own traits that we need to work on, but we're not ready to face it, but we have to face it. So we're almost forced to face who we are together and grow together and raise a child together. And we've got a dog. So it's just like everything's just, but somehow we're doing it. It's so up and down, but we're doing it somehow.
You got your partner.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he's got a real one.
Yeah,
Him.
yeah.
You know, I think he's done. I met him anyway as well.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
He's got a good energy.
Yeah,
Big him up.
yeah, definitely.
How good are you with geography? Because I always play this game.
Oh, do you know what? Just hit me with it. I'm not going to try to go on.
Right, cool. I'll ask you some questions. Right, let me think. I'm going to be spontaneous. Right. What is the most spoken language in the world?
I'd say English.
You sure?
No.
I might be wrong, actually.
I think English, because it's such a universal language. I was going to say Arabic, but I'm like, English. English,
Okay.
innit?
I was going to say Mandarin Chinese because of the population.
No, but then you can't. No, but then you can't say. But that's not. But that's within a race.
Oh,
but
you can.
universally, I think English. No.
Right, cool. Right, 1-0 to you. Right, 1-0 to you. Yeah. Right, let's make it 1-1. Right, second question. Right, let me think about it. The Mississippi River is located in what country?
America.
Damn, you're quick. Okay, cool. All right. Let me think.
Do you know why? Because you're trying so hard
Yeah.
to beat me. Let it go. Yeah, just it's okay. It's not that
Right,
deep.
2 more, so that I can make it a draw. Right, let me be spontaneous. Right, okay, cool. Soul.
Soul, as in music.
Nah, Seoul, yeah. What this like music, yeah?
Yeah.
But Seoul is the capital of what country in Southeast Asia?
Pass.
South Korea.
Right. I didn't
2-1,
know
right.
that. Okay,
Last
I
one.
didn't know that.
Let me try to redeem myself. Right, cool. You're from East Africa, you said, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna play it safe. Name me one country in Africa
Oh, yeah.
that has not been colonized.
Oh, do me a favor. To me, I feel like they've all been colonized.
There's
but
only one that I can think
what does
of.
it begin with? Give me the first letter.
I can't tell you.
No,
That's
but just
cheating.
give me a clue.
I cannot tell you. Okay, right now, this country is. It might be a bit obvious, but this country is sad. But they're going through a civil war at the moment. Their leader is actually apparently in the battlefield, and this country has got one of the best airlines in terms of traveling. It's located.
Is it in East Africa? No, but is it? Because I feel like maybe I know now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is in East
Is it
Africa.
Ethiopia?
Yes, it is in
Okay.
Ethiopia. Oh, damn.
Okay, yeah, okay. Because, you know, I was panicking there because I was like, you know, when you doubt yourself,
Yeah,
but
nah.
big up Ethiopians. I love my
Big
Ethiopians.
up Ethiopia.
100%.
Big up Ethiopia.
100%.
You won 3-1. Damn. Actually, you know what? It was actually good to have you on. Where can they find you on social media platforms, or where would you looking to do?
I mean, yeah, just my normal Instagram is just,
Okay.
yeah, my actual Instagram, personal Instagram,
Yeah.
which is Mama T
Yeah.
with an X.
Uh-huh.
But my new podcast that I want to present now is called Culture Clash with
Okay.
K's. So it's K culture and then clash with a K and then 2 H's at the end. Oh, and a dot before the clash. So culture.clash with
clash.
2 H's.
I will put that in the description.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So that's what I'm working towards now. But I feel like if I didn't come on here,
Yeah.
I don't think I would have. And the way you popped up to me was crazy.
Yeah.
Because why did you even message me?
I
Why
don't
did
know.
you?
I'm weird. I don't know.
Because and the thing is, when you did send me the
I sent you my YouTube channel, innit?
no, I mean because when you followed me and then you voice noted me to tell me what you're about and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I was doing my notes up for my podcast.
Yeah.
And then my friend George reached out to me about doing the audio for his podcast, the Why London one. And he was like, I'd love for you to be my first guest. And I'm like, okay, audio's fine, which I done literally last week. So I'm like, all right, so this was my next challenge.
Yeah.
And as soon as you sent me your voice note, I was constant, because I never accept people that I don't know on social media.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh my God, team. And then I checked out your page. I was thinking, he looks cool. I thought you were like Ugandan.
Yeah.
You Ugandan?
I'm half Ugandan.
Okay, so I was like, it's probably, and I liked your vibe and your look and what you done. I was thinking, yeah, man, this is what we need. You look like you had the little hippie vibe. It was so, like, I loved it. So I was like, all right, cool. So I voice noted you. And I was just like, I literally I'm working on my podcast that I've been, because I planned this 3 years ago, but I didn't have self-belief. Everyone was telling me. Now I do, but at the time it's like everyone was like, T, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. And I'm like, and I created my logo 3 years ago, and so now it's easy for me to kind of just get into it because I know what I want to do and what I want to talk about. But I feel like the last 3 years were needed.
Yeah.
For all my experiences, the last 3 years I needed to have for me to now be ready to be heard and for others to be heard as well.
I said it before during this podcast interview. You are gonna be big because I don't think I've been interviewed by many people and I've interviewed a lot of people. Your energy is different, and I think your podcast will be very diverse as well. Especially with the previous guest that I had on before, like Growing Up British. I think you two should network because I think within the colour community we need to network to grow. I always believe this. Put aside this ego and this envy. We need to network. No matter what we're doing within our community, we have to network. Because I've realised one thing, like, because I'm going to the USA in a couple months to network and film. I don't know why, but the colour community in the USA, they support each other more than here. Over here, we don't really support each other. And I realised that we got our phones and our Instagrams. I don't know why we promote all these influencers, but you don't want to promote your friend that's on the come up.
100%.
Why don't we do that? So I think we need to support one another.
100%.
To be able to grow. In America, it's so different. I mean, I've been there before, but I'm not American. But because I've been there and I've experienced how they grow as one in terms of music, producers, actors, podcasts, Americans, they really support because they come from the mud, they come from the bottom. And I think over here, in terms of, like, within our community, we don't have a platform to grow. It's starting to emerge, like Trend Central, Black Chat, ZZ Mills, big up ZZ Mills, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
What's the other brother? Mo Gilligan and some other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're finally doing stuff. So I think, but we need to continue that growth.
Yeah. I mean, change is slowly happening. I feel like people are making small changes, and I mean, the thing is, change has to start from within. So, like, for example, I wouldn't have been on here if I held on to that fear of, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to feel, like everyone listening to what I'm saying, and what if people, you always have that fear of what if, and especially because social media is can be such a horrible place.
Yeah,
you
it
just
can make or break you.
Yeah, it can, but I feel like change has to start from within, and once you make that change and everyone makes that change, then collectively we're all kind of like-minded and we understand it to that extent, and we can work together and network and not have the 2 E's, because it's the 2 E's that stop us from doing all of this. It is the competition and it is the ego. What was the other E? What did it stand for? Envy. And envy, and the thing is, some people are envious and they don't even know it. And that's what, when Fizz was talking about the reflection, it's true. You need to reflect, because sometimes when you're a hater, even after you've done it, or you feel it like, oh shit, man, I feel like I felt a bit jealous. Why did I? But you have to look to yourself. It's okay to be jealous. Just understand why. Don't be upset. Don't be bitter. Be better. Don't be upset. It's fine, because we're human. We will feel jealous. We will feel, our ego will be there, especially if you've been through, everyone's been through struggles and tribulations and whatever, and you will have that ego. And that's your defense. And some people are just pricks and they just want to be better than everyone, and that's what they think, they're superior. But those definitely need to be stripped away, because it's like, so why can't men be vulnerable? Why can't women, be women? Do you know what the problem is? People are losing their positions. People need to play their position. A man needs to play his position. A woman needs to play her position. And by that, I don't mean the old customs when it comes to that, but it's just, you as a man, you know what you need to do. You know what is asked of you, and a woman is, and it's not a lot. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if I ask you now, what is it for you? What is the definition of a man to you? What would your answer be?
What is the definition of a man?
To you, yeah. What makes a man?
What makes a man? Fuck me, she got me, eh?
Oh.
What makes a man? What makes a man? I think it depends, because I think, from my experience, I think what makes a man is you need to, of course, you go through trials and tribulations, but I think you need to be there for your loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be honest.
When you say be there, though, what do you mean by be there?
As in, like, for example, if I was to have a child, I want to be there for my child. If I've got a friend that's going through personal issues, I want to be there for my friend. So,
But you know what's so funny? The two things that you mentioned, because
Yeah.
without a woman, you wouldn't have a child.
I agree.
And a friend is not more important than your woman.
I agree.
So it's like, that needs to change too, because I feel
Yeah.
like, appreciate the women. Like, I feel like it's our time now. Like, you guys need to just sit down and just let us do what we need to do, because you need to just support us and encourage us, because I feel like finally women are starting to accept and love who they are, and they're supporting one another, and I'd like to think so, and I've seen
No,
it
from
as
what I
well.
can see, they are.
Yeah, and I'm like, men need to just appreciate that and accept it for what it is, because it's like, why are we always at the bottom of the list? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not fair. We give you life, for God's sake.
Yeah,
you
without
come
you,
from us.
I won't be sitting here.
Do you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
wouldn't. So it's
Yeah.
like, understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not trying to always get into deep conversations, but then what's the point of having conversations if there's no feeling to it?
That's real talk.
You can't say I love my mum and I love my sister, but you want to disrespect another woman. That means you don't respect women.
Yeah.
You don't. And I feel like that definitely needs to change. So yeah.
It will. Man, I can't wait for your podcast. I got to jump on.
Oh,
yeah?
do me a
I gotta
favour.
jump
But
on.
no, seriously, I feel like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to bash males or females, women
No,
or
you're
men,
not,
but
you're
I'm
not,
just
you're not.
like, we need to do better. And it's
we do.
okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to, go through it. It's fine. We just have to support each other.
Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this blog interview. I don't know what you want to call it. Who cares? But the most important thing is that we touched on an important subject. And anyway, yeah, I am going to put her description. I am going to put all her social media platforms in the description. It feels like I've been interviewed now.
Oh,
I'm mumbling.
sorry.
and I never mumble. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this blog. The Black Man the Traveller. Bow.